What's up, YouTube? It's your man Sean over here at IOU TV coming through with another one. Today, coming through to you with an article from the U.S. News. Father and son sentenced to life in prison. Neighbor gets 35 years for federal hate crimes in the killing of Ahmaud. A judge also required that Travis McMichael and Greg McMichael, 66 and 36, and William Roddy Bryan, 52, serve their sentences in state prison, not federal prison as it had been requested by their attorneys. As a young man is dead, Ahmaud Arbery will forever be 25. And what happened? A jury found it happened because he's a black man. U.S. District Judge Lisa Godbey Woods said during Greg McMichael's sentencing. McMichaels and Bryan, who are all white, were found guilty in February on federal hate crime charges in the killing of Arbery, a black man who was running through their neighborhood when the defendants confronted him in February 2020. The three men were convicted of all the federal charges against them, including hate crimes, attempted kidnapping, and the use of a firearm to commit a crime. Prosecutors sought life sentences for all three men. However, Goodbay Wood said she thought it was necessary to distinguish Bryan from the McMichaels, in the part because, unlike his neighbors, he did not bring a gun with him when the men chased Arbery. It is not lost on the court that the two men brought guns to the situation that had their worst effect, and you wasn't one of them, she said. She added, however, that Bryan was still deserving of an awfully long sentence. By the time you serve your federal sentence, you will be close to 90 years old. But again, Mr. Arbery never got a chance to be 26, she said. I determined that the sentence imposed is a very lengthy summary, and it is one that has been earned. Prosecutor Tara Lyons called the sentencing hearings at the end of at least one chapter an excruciatingly painful journey for Ahmaud Arbery family, for his community, and for an entire nation that has wept for Ahmaud. The men were sentenced separately, back to back, on Monday. Well, yeah, they can and gonna get ready. Do a bunch of push-ups, man, for you in the county, man. For when you get there, you might have to buff up a little bit, man, because the wolves down there waiting on you. Guess what color they is? They probably gonna be black. I'm pretty sure that you're gonna have a big problem with black people in prison, as you stated. Moving on. Both Copeland and Balbo also said they were concerned about the investigation by the Department of Justice into the immune violence in the Georgia state prison system. The prosecution and members of Ahmaud Arbery family asked McMichaels to serve their sentences in state prison. Travis McMichael, whose sentence is life plus 10 years, declined to speak before the judge. He added that he never wanted any of this to happen. There was no malice in my heart or my son's heart that day. The older McMichael also apologized to his son, saying he would have never put him in this type of situation. Bryan also apologized to Arbery's family. I am sorry for what happened to him on that day. I never intended to harm I never intended any harm to him, Bryan said. I never would have played any role in what happened if I knew then what I know now. I bet you didn't. I guarantee you didn't. Guarantee that you didn't. Marcus Arbery, Ahmaud Arbery's father, said ahead of the sentencing that these three devils have broken my heart into pieces that I cannot be found or repaired, and asked the court to give the stiffest sentence possible. You killed him because he was a black man. You hate black people, he said. Wanda Cooper Jones, Ahmaud Arbery's mother, said Travis McMichael took my baby son. I feel every shot that was fired that day, she said. The federal case followed the state trial in November in which the men were convicted of murder and given life sentences. They have appealed their convictions in this case. The federal hate crimes trial centered on the history of the three men and their racial bias, a motive that prosecutors in the state case largely avoided, even though Arbery killing gained national attention as the United States was reckoning with systematic institutional racism and biased policing. The men were arrested months after the shooting, following the release of Bryant's phone video and growing national attention. The case was taken over by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. I think that's the same people got Young Thug now. Moving on. Arbery family and the civil rights leaders have linked his death to modern day lynching. The McMichaels attempted to plead guilty to the hate crime charges before trial, but the plea agreement was rejected by the judge. He said, "Nope, I'll have none of that. Not right now." Abby parents protested that the men would be able to serve their time in federal prison instead of state. Federal prosecutors worked to establish that Arbery's murder was driven by the men's strong prejudices against black people. Witnesses included FBI analysts who went through the men's social media history, neighbors and former co-workers of the McMichaels, who all testified that the father and son made troubling racist jokes, rants, and statements were open about their negative feelings toward black people. The defense said the messages and social media posts were taken out of context, and even though they had said troubling things, they insisted the men were not driven by their racial bias to pursue and kill Ahmaud Arbery. Well, what was it? If you online getting down on black people, you talking about it at work, everywhere you go, why wouldn't it be? In conclusion, this month, Greg McMichael's attorney asked the judge not to impose a life sentence, although he said his client deserves a substantial period of incarceration, the Associated Press reported. McMichael's defense team also asked the judge for a transfer to federal prison, where he would avoid serving time for the murder in Georgia state prison system. Yeah, he wanted to avoid it. He was he ducking. It gets pretty bad in the feds. I ain't never been there, so I can't speak too much on it. But I have been to the state prison. One thing for sure, and two things for certain. You better do a bunch of push-ups in the county. Bunch get up on the Aryan Brotherhood literature or whatever they got to do. They one way or another, they're gonna be treated like children for the rest of their lives. They're gonna be treated like children. Let me tell you what's gonna happen as soon as they get there. Soon as they get there, they're gonna see it. All the people in the joint got to see is eyesight confirmation that they are right here. And the first move is they're gonna slide up on them. Hey man, how much money you got on the books? You need to get on the phone when your number get assigned where you can call out. You need to get on the phone and call and tell them to send me some money to protect you. But all the time he's not gonna protect them. They're gonna be treated like kids for the rest of their life, and it's what they deserve. and girls. They might be running around there grabbing somebody's belt loop, like some Lucifers. Like, share, and subscribe to IOU TV. It's the greatest channel in the world. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay away from the supremacists. Peace.